What's going on, guys? My name is Raphael, and in today's video, we're going to talk about what you should bring to your first jiu-jitsu tournament. Maybe it's not your first jiu-jitsu tournament, but maybe you didn't feel like you were prepared during that first one, so you're like, you know what? Let me YouTube a video on what I should bring to my first jiu-jitsu tournament, and you stumbled upon my page, which is super awesome. So hopefully I can give you some awesome tips. Just some background, I've been training jiu-jitsu since 2017. I just got my brown belt a few months back. I competed over in 20 different tournaments. I've done Naga, Gammon, Good Fight. I've done Grappling Industries and Fuji, so I did a variety of different tournaments, points, no points. If you're ever doing any first two tournaments I recommend doing is like a Grappling Industries or a Good Fight. Maybe they don't have those by you, but one that's a round robin means you're going to get a lot of matches. And then two, no points, because you don't have to worry about the points, especially if you're newer. Maybe you don't know every position and point and how everything's scored. So your only objective is one thing, is to get that submission, and you might do some overtime rounds as well. So make sure that you guys are checking the tournaments and the rules and the styles of play before you guys are entering them. So what's the first? I think this is the most important thing. This isn't an order, but this is what I would say is the most important thing that you could bring to a tournament, is to bring a coach. A coach is like having a cheat code, and if you could bring your main coach, a guy or a girl who watches you at the jiu-jitsu gym all the time, who knows your game specifically, and who's giving you great advice during class, trying to see if they're gonna go. Now, a lot of gyms end up signing up for like tournaments. They get a group of people to go together. They try to win the team trophy and whatnot. Maybe some gyms don't do that, but who knows? Just ask your coach, like, hey, I'm going to compete in this tournament. Would you be able to go? And then if they can go, that's awesome. And now you're going to have a really good coach, and they're going to help you hopefully get that $5 gold medal. And coaches also too are great to bring, because they're going to be watching your opponents during the day. They're going to be seeing what sign this person likes to play guard on, or what moves they like to do and whatnot. Having that, they're going to give you a game plan to hopefully win that match. And even if you lose, who cares? You're just going out there for experience. Number two, and this is not like on a list of importance, but this is a pretty important one as well. Bring extra clothing / gear. You could shower just in case the venue has a shower, because the mats are disgusting. People are walking around like barefoot sometimes. It's absolutely gross. People are walking around like staff and morning room and whatnot. You want to shower immediately after the tournament, but bring extra clothes in, as in jiu-jitsu gear, because you don't know what's going to happen during your mat. What if you get a bloody nose, there's blood all over your gi, maybe you're not allowed to use that gi anymore, or your gi rips, or your shorts rip, or maybe it's not regulated to tournament standard. So bring some extra clothes just in case your clothes gets damaged. And also make sure that you have the right size gi and no gi set for that tournament. Specifically, tournaments like IBJJF and Jiu-Jitsu World League will measure how far the gi is to like your wrist bone and whatnot, or how long the pants are, or maybe patches and color locations. So know that you need to bring the right gi for the right tournament, because some tournaments have regulations and they will not let you compete. They will DQ you for the day, and that will suck. And sometimes they're gonna make you buy their stuff. It can be super expensive. You're ready to spend $100 or maybe even more in a tournament. You probably don't want to spend any more, right? Number three is food and hydration. Bring some food, bring a ton of water. If you can, also bring some electrolytes. I use HoloLabs electrolytes. There's a supplement in here. It's called taurine. Taurine going to help you prevent cramps. If you ever had a cramp in class and you really don't want to tap to a submission because you're dealing with a cramp, it kind of sucks. Now imagine dealing with that at a tournament. That would be much worse. Electrolytes are good for replenishing the water in your system. It's also going to give you energy, and it's going to help you recover. I'll put a nice discount code. I work for this company. I'm an honest guy, but these are way better than a lot of the other electrolytes because they have taurine in it, and it tastes fantastic. It's super hot today. I'm gonna be drinking it now and later. Now, going into food, I would mainly aim, like, I'd have a normal breakfast. I'm not really crazy about changing your diet. Like, obviously, if it's weeks before and you want to eat healthier and like lose weight, like, that's all cool, but I probably wouldn't change your diet like a couple days before the tournament. Like, you don't know how your stomach's gonna react. You just were eating one kind of food, now you switch to another, and that might not be a good idea. But whenever I go to tournaments, I usually, like, at least 2 or 3 hours before the tournament, I have a pretty decent sized meal. Now, mind you, on tournament day, your stress is going to be up, and that can affect your stomach. People get stomach aches and whatnot because their stress levels go up, and stress affects everything in your body. If you go to these jiu-jitsu tournaments, you're going to see a ton of people online for the bathroom because they're nervous and whatnot. High testosterone, high stress, a lot of people are going to go to the bathroom and whatnot. But bring high carbs foods. I personally like to bring like something like fruits, like Cliff Bars and stuff, some things that are easy to go around. I like to bring a sandwich, but I really time like how I'm eating this stuff. So I just competed. I know I have like an hour between matches. I'd probably stick to some like high carb foods instead of eating protein and fats. Proteins and fats take a little bit longer to digest, and I really don't want that coming back up while I'm competing. So fruits like fruit, crackers. I see people bring bottles of honey as well. So definitely bring food, because you might be there for a long time and there's always delays between matches. And if it's a sub-only tournament, I literally had a 30-minute match. That match could have ended in 2 minutes, and then if there was like 3 more matches after me, that could have probably ended in 30. Me and some other dude were on the mat for 30 minutes. It was absolutely insane. Be prepared. You might be there for a very, very long time. So definitely bring some food. Now, this is going to depend on the tournament. This is just nice to have like either way. Bring a beach chair or like any kind of chair, something comfortable, something that you leave your stuff at, like your bag, your phone. Obviously be careful, because there's a lot of people at these tournaments and you don't want to get robbed. Hasn't happened to me, fortunately, but I'm sure it's happened to someone else in the past. And like, you know, it's like a kid could snag your stuff, like, and they're just kids, you know, like it happens sometimes. So you got to be careful at these tournaments. But bring a chair. You could put your food there. You could leave your bag there. Having a resting area is awesome. If the tournament doesn't have bleachers, having that resting area is super awesome. I've seen people bring cots that they could lay down with. I've seen people bring mats. Now, mats are great because same thing, you can lay down on it like a cot. And some of these tournaments don't provide you with like a warm-up area. Now, my school wrestles, so we don't really need to use the mats necessarily to have a good warm-up. We could just use a hand fighting from the feet as a good warm-up, and that should be good enough for us to get our hips, our knees, and etc. Our bodies warmed up for the match. But if your school doesn't wrestle, probably having a nice like mat to put on the floor just to wrestle with, or just warm up on the mat with, is going to be super essential. Warming up before match can calm down your nerves. It's getting your body obviously warmed up, so the chances of injuries are going to go down a lot less. And if you guys just want to chill and lay on the mat, that's also an option as well. So bringing a folding chair or whatever, or some kind of resting area that you can use, is awesome. But if the venue doesn't provide you with those kind of things. Some venues do, some venues don't. I say it's a 50-50. It really depends on the venue. Also, like bringing cash is always a good option as well. Like sometimes I've gone to like vendors at tournaments, they do not accept credit card, they don't accept PayPal, they don't accept Bitcoin. I don't know why they don't accept Bitcoin, but they don't accept Bitcoin. Everyone should be accepting Bitcoin these days, but whatever. Anyways, I don't have any Bitcoin. Maybe I do, who knows? Maybe I have all the Bitcoin. Maybe I have a secretly hidden stash. But bring cash to tournaments. You know, a lot of times these places are like selling coffee and snacks, like a kid or like running the counter. They don't want to pay taxes. Nobody wants to pay taxes. So give these people some cash. You can get some hot dogs and burgers or sandwiches or coffee between your matches, because sometimes you forget food. You left it in your car. You left it at home on the counter. Bring some extra cash anyway. Maybe you're going to go out to eat after the tournament and the place that you go to only accepts cash. Always bring cash. I feel like that's always been a big help for me. And that is pretty much it. Those are all the things I find that are necessary to bring to jiu-jitsu tournaments. Food, some resting area, some extra clothes. Of course, bring your jiu-jitsu coach if you can. And one more thing. Sunglasses as well. You know, just in case the tournament's super bright, I always like to bring sunglasses. And then the last thing is always bring a good attitude, and don't, you know, of course you're going to be happy if you win. You're not going to be happy if you, actually, sometimes you might be happy if you lose. I've had a match with this dude I know who was like I think a state champ in wrestling, and I think I went the distance. I think he scored 2 points on me, and like at the end of the match, I was like, man, I did everything I could have end this match to try to win. I didn't win, but I was happy. I literally have a picture of me on the podium with my second place medal with my hand up. And yeah, just always bring a good attitude. These jiu-jitsu tournaments they're super tough. Tap as soon as you can if you feel like you're in danger and whatnot. No matter what, win, lose, or draw, just go out there, do your best. And doing your best doesn't mean like winning the match. Doing your best means that you did everything you could in the moments that you had during that match to try to do well, and that's all that matters. If you're going out there and testing yourself, that's all good. Have a fun time. It's just a jiu-jitsu tournament. Even if it's like the world's biggest jiu-jitsu tournament, it doesn't matter. Just go out there, have fun, and be grateful that you have the opportunity to go on the mats and compete. Also, if you guys have any other things that you should bring to a jiu-jitsu tournament, please put them in the comments below. My name is Raphael. Also, if you guys are looking for jiu-jitsu gear, check out elevatelva.com. That's my jiu-jitsu brand. It's been growing a ton, and I'm thanking you guys for the support. I will see you guys during my next video.